All right.
Jake, where'd you grow up? Where are you from originally?
Huntington Beach, California.
Orange County?
Orange County, yeah.
And tell me about your family. You had mom and dad?
Yeah, I had mom and dad, one sister. They got divorced when I was about 12, but it was always kind of like they were divorced but living in the same house. So it was kind of like a relief almost when they got divorced.
How would you describe your childhood in general?
Dysfunctional. I was more, I had anger issues as a kid, I feel like, and I have ADHD, depression, bipolar disorder, a few different things. So growing up wasn't easy, and especially at school, it wasn't easy because I'd always be getting in trouble for trying to talk too much or bullied for trying to talk too much.
Is that the ADHD?
Yeah, yeah. And then when I got put on meds, it made me just focus, but like apparently like it made me a zombie. I don't remember much, but they didn't like me on meds much either because that was bad. So it took me off that. Then I got put on the painkillers for having my leg broken. So
You broke your leg skateboarding?
broke my leg motocross racing.
Motocross.
Yeah, and then after the painkillers,
What is that?
it's funny. Like I
does
didn't
that
even
mean?
start doing them automatically. Like I saw it on Dr. House that he popped them. I was like, oh, I have that in my cabinet, and I just like popped two. First time I got kind of sick, I was like, I don't know if I like this, but at the same time, it was like, you know, a release. Like I stopped feeling so much pain for a little bit, I guess, and that's why I kept continuing to use. Went through that supply pretty quick, 100 bottle. Started just trying to buy from people at school, but that stopped working because people were out. So I just kept.
They're selling those at your high school?
Oh yeah, every drug you could want. I resorted to stealing opiates for a long time. Actually, I stole a whole pint from one of my friends. So
Dang.
that's sad.
Your friends tough.
This is a real. Only a few people know about this one. I stole.
I don't know about a few
Oxy
people.
from my aunt with cancer.
There's gonna be more than a few people
So-
now.
Some shows you where drugs can take you. I started doing a little bit better when I got a girlfriend around 16. For about a year or so, I was working, just smoking weed. That was it. But things started getting toxic with her. Like, if I would be at work, she would just be trying to start fights with me while I was at work for like whatever reason. She had,
Bro moments. That's a
Was it-
bro moment.
it's one of the worst mental disorders. I forgot what it's called. It's not borderline personality. Yeah, borderline personality disorder. She has that, and if you don't know, that's very hard to live with. She lived at my house, so fighting was constant.
What?
That's how I lost the tip of my finger.
He had a girlfriend that lived with his house.
that happened.
Lived at,
Got slammed in a door.
How did he
when
get-
She was screaming at me, and I kept trying to run away, like to close this door, and she just kept slamming it open, and I tried to push it, and she slammed it, and it was on the ground, and I was just like, holy fuck, like my fingertips just on the ground. Like it was kind of a surreal moment, and that was one of the first moments where I realized like this relationship is so not okay. And I went to the hospital. My dad
yeah.
took me. She didn't come with me. So, yeah. And it's funny because as soon as I saw in the Johnny Depp trial that he lost his fingertip, the same one on the same hand, and I was like, that's so crazy. What a coincidence, but not a good coincidence. And she actually had the same mental disorder that Amber Heard had, so yeah.
Interesting. So eventually this led to street drugs?
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, as things got worse, well, one time I got a bunch of Molly, and all of my friends, we were rolling at the skate park, and the cops come. They search everyone. Luckily, it was in my backpack, but everyone was on drugs, and like I didn't know how they didn't notice, but I got to go home, and like I just raced home, and then that night I went home and did like all the Molly, and if you don't know what happens after that, it's like the worst come down in your life. Like you feel like you just want to kill yourself, like no serotonin in your brain at all. And after that, instead of just picking up weed like I normally would, I just got Coke, and then I binged on Coke for a week. And then after that come down, adding on to the other come down, was like I couldn't handle it. I went and got some Xanax bars from the skate park, came home, popped 3. The next morning, if you don't know what bar rage is, I got into bar rage. I woke up and I was just really mad, and I started just like fucking shit up, and cops came and I got arrested for 6 months. So that was the longest time I've ever been sober, was that stint.
Being in jail.
Yeah. Juvenile hall, actually. I turned 18 in juvenile hall.
Oh, I see.
That was a weird birthday. But honestly, I wouldn't change it. I would still have gone, because I feel like it made me a better person. It made me reevaluate some things. Even though I came out and I started to use again, while I was in, I was like working out instead of using drugs to, fight those demons or whatever. And that was helping a lot. I came out a lot bigger than I went in.
Those are demons, bro. Those are demons
so I
indeed.
came out skinny. I came out like pretty good, healthy.
That's
Not
not
much
what
else
you
to
about
do
the
in there.
chokehold, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he's talking about demons or whatever. No, bro. Those are demons. Don't get that twisted. We have them too. Those are demons, bro. Those are not whatever. Those things are there to sabotage you. That's why you was doing that. That's why you was going from, instead getting medicine or something, he got something even a worse toxin. That's demons, bro. Those were demons. You gotta fight them.
So workout.
Have to.
So yeah, and after
We
I got
all
out,
have to. It's tough.
I wanted to be sober.
At least we don't have to do it alone,
like,
though.
everyone that I knew was smoking weed, and they were like, "Oh, you can just smoke weed. Like, you can just smoke weed." And like, I kept telling them,
Oh
"I
my
don't think I can.
goodness.
I really don't think I can just smoke weed." But eventually, I gave in, started smoking weed again. And that same day that I started smoking weed, it went all crazy. I started drinking alcohol. I popped some Klonopin. I got in a car crash at the beach. I backed into some guy's car, and it was like smashed in. I was so scared I hurt him or something, and I got out, and like I was just like very intoxicated, but
Damn.
I dealt with it somehow still, and like I just had to drive home, and like I felt so bad. I was like, what the fuck can I do other than just give him my information? Like, and that was like, I would say it's a wake up call, but it didn't wake me up. I kept doing it, so it kept getting worse from that point. A little bit after that, my grandpa passed away, and I had to watch him pass away. We went to Texas, and for 2 weeks, watched him fade away in front of us, and that was really weird. And to try to deal with that, I popped I tried to buy some Xanax to bring so I could deal with it better when I was out there, and I ended up taking all the Xanax that night, all 10, and I drove to my friend's house. And I don't remember driving there, or all I remember is stumbling in the door and no one saying a word to me. Everyone was just staring at me like, what the fuck? What the fuck's going on? Like, and I was just pissed off that no one said anything to me. So I just got up and left again. Somehow I drove home. Didn't get in a car crash.
I mean, like,
I don't know how many times I've driven home.
what?
And I don't remember a thing about it. And I just somehow woke up in my bed and my car's outside. Sometimes it was parked pretty fucked up, but I didn't kill anyone, luckily. So after my grandpa died, I started using heroin. That was the first time I used heroin. I went to his funeral on heroin. I don't know how much my family knew about it, but my ex said that they probably all knew. It was pretty obvious, she said.
I'm sorry, but like, I will know if someone's on heroin. Heroin? I would know someone's on that.
He can mask it though. Cause look, his tolerance went like deeper and deeper and deeper. Like he said he went with weed, and then he went to fat, and then he went to heroin. It's like a ladder, bro.
Yeah, but like, they said somebody noticed, like, he went to a funeral. Whoa! That's tough, bro. That's tough. That's tough. I don't know. That's very tough.
And
That's like somebody's.
yeah, I
That's
came back.
tough.
I started to use fentanyl for the first time. I was at 17, and I only used it for about a week. And I was in the living room talking, and I guess I nodded out in front of my whole family, just like. And then I woke up with like my dad shouting at me like, "What the fuck are you on? Like, what the fuck?" And then like he didn't let it go. He was like, "If you don't stop this, you're out of the house. You're out of the house if you don't stop it." And I stopped. I went through the withdrawals. I used kratom. My ex helped me through it the whole time. And then the sad thing is I didn't stay sober. I just hopped onto Adderall because I started going to college as a way to like, my dad was like, either get a job or go to school. You got to do something now that you're off heroin again. You can't just be sitting in my house. So I started to go to college again. Originally, I was just taking Adderall because I have ADHD and I literally cannot focus. I tried to go a few days and I could not focus at all. And it was sad. I really wanted to be able to focus, but like it's just not, I don't have the ability to. And so I tried to start taking Adderall and I was able to focus. I was able to retain the information. It was working. Like I was so happy at this first time. Like I didn't really remember taking it as a kid much, but taking it, starting again, it was like, I can actually like, I can sit and do things. I'm motivated. I haven't been able to do any of this my whole life. So I loved it. And the Adderall dealer moved away and everyone always said like, it's so close to meth. Like meth and Adderall are the same thing. They're not the same thing, but I started doing meth and it got a lot worse. It went from me taking Adderall to make clothes and do homework and stuff for college to me doing meth and playing video games all day long, or me doing meth and doing shit I shouldn't be doing behind my girlfriend's back. Not cheating, but stuff I shouldn't be doing. That was one of the main things in our relationship that fucked it up was me using meth. It was already a bad relationship, but the meth made everything so much worse because when she would be angry, instead of me being calm and trying to deal with her being upset, I would also be extremely angry and I wouldn't be able to control it. So she would start throwing blows and I would just try to be pushing her out of the room, and like it was not good. Like my dad had to physically like escort her out of my house multiple times. She broke down my door one time and left a scar on my face, like broke it down and it hit my face and left a scar. She tried to kill herself in my bed.
Dooney demon.
Almost successfully. She stole my bars, popped 10 of those, walked down to the liquor store, stole some Hennessy, down that, and I come in to my room and she's just like, didn't look like she was alive, and I started like pushing on her and like she wasn't breathing, and that was terrifying. I was tripping actually that day. I was on 2CB and it snapped me out of it real quick. I got sober real quick. I just
The sad part is
started
he
to
did
like
himself,
like
bro.
push on her chest. Like I don't know how to do CPR, but I tried, and I started to give her mouth to mouth, and the mouth to mouth worked somehow. She just started to breathe again, and I was like fucking sobbing. I was just sobbing. I was like, no, you can't die. You cannot die. You cannot die. Like I'm not letting it happen. Whatever, like it's not happening. Like sorry, it's not happening. And like I nursed her back to health. I made her throw everything up. Like, you know what the fucked up part was? It was her dad's birthday, and I was trying to call an ambulance, and she was just begging me like, don't call an ambulance. My dad's birthday. It'll fuck everything up for me. And like I feel like a piece of shit because I didn't call an ambulance. But like at the same time, like I'm thinking, I'm trying to help her, but it really wasn't helping her. And of course, my family wasn't there for that whole entire thing, so no one was there to stop anything. That was traumatizing. So.
Where are you at today?
Where am I at today?
Yeah, what are you doing? I mean, are you still using?
Yeah. I was actually, it's funny because I keep trying to quit. You know, it's not easy quitting fentanyl, but I kept messing up going on my methadone clinic, and I would like skip a few days, and I'd have to restart the dose or whatever. And in 2 or 3 days, my dose should be back up to what it should be, and I'm gonna try to quit again in like 2 to 3 days. And I really hope this time it works, because the dose should be at the right point. So, but yeah,
It's
I am
like
still using
euphoria,
fentanyl.
bro.
I'm
That's
not using
literally
meth anymore.
euphoria.
I quit that a long time ago. Fentanyl is just about the only drug I do, except for Xanax sometimes, because I have pretty bad anxiety, insomnia.
Is there downside to taking the Adderall?
Oh, yeah. One thing it does is make you very sexually devious.
Whoa,
Wait, sexual what?
devious. Hey yo, hey, that is demon semen, bro. No sir, that's wild.
You do things you would never do, and everyone can act like they don't, but it's an open known thing for Adderall and meth that it makes you very like, you do some pretty messed up shit. You get angry very
That's
easily,
wild.
very easily, and you can't like stop being angry. Like you just storm around the house fucking mad. Like there's lots of downsides to Adderall. I don't think the upsides are worth it, because I'm going back to college and I'm not taking Adderall. I'm never going to take that stuff again. It's not worth the risk in my opinion.
I mean, amongst your peers, like when you were in high school or back in Huntington Beach, are there a lot of kids that are in a similar situation with drugs as you?
Not really, actually, no. I was one of the few in my school. I dropped out like sophomore year. I got my GED, but you know,
It's good to hear.
I didn't really know many people, to be honest. Like I had a very small group of friends. The worst they did was maybe like Xanax. They didn't get close to what I did. And after high school, everyone I knew kind of started just like drifting away. I had this one
That's how
really
it
good
is,
friend
bro.
still, and
That
we
is
were like
fine.
starting a brand together because I'm into fashion.
Most of the time, that's how it is.
Couldn't tell. It's one of the few things that I still have during my addiction, and we were doing a brand together, and like I had a few things that I had in this collection I was gonna make, but it was not released yet, and he just went and took everything and released it on his own brand, and like didn't give me credit, didn't ask me anything. So that was the end of that friendship, and that was like the last friend I had. And then I had like no friends, and then my ex was like all I had for a long time. And then after I caught her like doing shit behind my back multiple times, I finally just like, I thought like, if she's not gonna stop and it's not gonna stop hurting me, I have to make the decision to make her stop hurting me. So I did that, and then after that is when I started to really use fentanyl. Right after that breakup, that's the first time that I used fentanyl in a few years. That's how it started, this current addiction, was that breakup. It took the pain away completely, 100% took the pain away. So it was helpful at first for maybe like a month. And then I realized when I don't have it, I go through severe withdrawals. And it was terrifying to realize that, because I didn't have it one time. I didn't know how bad it was going to get. And it got so bad. And
Hey, appreciate you, Bresky.
withdrawals are the worst part about it. I'd say it's really, I wouldn't wish it on anyone.
That is
Like I just had
feel-
COVID, and that's the sickest I've ever been, and I would prefer that to withdrawals any day, for sure.
Dang,
Oh fuck,
that's tough.
nigga, COVID is down bad.
COVID is very tough. Like COVID killed people that I know too personally.
I'm talking about like the severe, like bags of tissues, coughing, can't even eat, can't even get out the bed, bro. That nigga
Yeah,
said take
that's
that
tough
over-
too.
What?
Like, dang, withdrawals is that tough? That is. I mean,
That
I'm not
stuff
gonna
is
say I'm gonna
ripping
believe
his
him
soul.
because that
That
man
dude
is the one
ripping
experiencing it. That's tough though. Like, by the way, Aqua, I hope you're doing well. By the way, it was just a serious documentary about fentanyl experience.
I ain't
being
heard
a
nothing about
fentanyl
that.
addict-
Like, this
addict.
dude got a crazy story, bro.
Yeah, that's tough.
What are you afraid of now?
I'm afraid of not being who I feel like I could be. I'm afraid of wasting my potential because I feel like I know I have a lot of potential.
Are there things you like to do with your life?
Yeah, fashion, like I make clothes, photography, like graphic design. And I've been
What did he just say?
I could be.
He said, I'm afraid of not being what I could be. What are you talking about? You could still be you could still be what you could
trying
be.
to shut himself of the shadow that the bad image he is as a person.
I mean, you made those decisions, man. Just move on. It is what it is. You made it. You can't go back. You gotta keep moving, man. You made a decision.
He's basically
Move on
he's
and keep
fearful
making
of
decisions.
himself, bro.
I understand, but like, bro,
He's the biggest demise of himself, bro.
yeah, I understand, but like, man, like you made those decisions, bro. So you gotta move forward. That's the only way. It's the only way to progress. You gotta move forward, man. Then you could be what you could be. But you keep being stuck back there. I mean, it's gonna be hard to pull anyone out, or including yourself. You know, you gotta just keep moving, man.
Rope, bro. He can't even move.
He said he's getting a little better though. He said he's getting a little better. I think that's what he said.
I'm afraid of wasting.
He said he was taking some program, and he said hopefully it works this time. He took it a couple times, it didn't work. And he said hopefully it works this time. So he's trying something.
Because I feel like I know I have a lot of potential.
Are there things you like to do with your life?
See, he even said he feel like he has a lot of potential. It's just that he needs to realize that nothing happens overnight. What you were doing, you did not do that in one setting. You did that patternly long time. So it's going to take a long time again to get out of that. So you just got to realize patience is key in this situation. To be honest, in a lot of situations.
Yeah, fashion, like I make clothes, photography, like graphic design. And I've been told by many people I'm very good at it. Like people buy my clothes sometimes. Like I'm not ashamed, or I'm not like afraid to say, like I know I'm very good at fashion. But during this addiction, it has kind of taken that away to an extent though. I'm not really making clothes anymore. I'm just buying them. So that's really something that I want to start again. But at the same time, it's like the only time I was able to do that really like well was when I was on meth. And it's like, I don't want to go back to that just to make clothes. So it's a really weird predicament.
What the fuck?
Like
Meth boosted him to do that? What? Meth helped him unlock that talent, bro? What in the world, dude? I did not know meth helps unlock achievements.
Level to do that, bro.
Meth help him unlock an achievement, dude. What the freak is that? Hey, yo, that's crazy. I never knew that, but I don't know meth does that to you.
It's like this dude got layers and layers on himself. It's just oof.
He said he loved doing. So he said, I thought this came from. So this man, at first he got me in the first half because he was saying that, oh man, I love doing this, making clothes and stuff. And I know people said that it's good work, so I know I'm good at it. And I was like, okay, this guy has some natural, desire for, striving for something. And it ended up being because of meth. What? It kind of twisted. That hit me. I did not know it. That was the fattest plot twist I ever heard in my life, man. It's because of meth. He was like, I would never be able to do it unless I'm on meth. I was like, what? Hey, yo, leave that whole fashion thing alone, bro. Throw that out the window. That stuff was an illusion. That was an illusion, bro. Meth is that the only out. That's your only key to get in there? Whoa, bro. You might as well stop completely with that one. Delete that.
To do anything without a stimulant when you have ADHD. It's just really hard.
I mean, yeah, with ADHD, that is tough. But like, dang, bro. I mean, there has to be some other alternative.
Oh, I was telling you, ADHD, bro. Coping with that is
Yeah, that's what I
Have to do
know.
something to cope with that, bro.
I know coping with that is hard, but like, man, there's not anything like
I don't
that.
think so,
Meth.
bro.
Meth.
I mean, some people go to like vaping or some za, but like this nigga went to the extreme. I mean, it makes sense, bro. ADHD, that stuff is a thing that you can't even like cope with like this.
That's out of your
It's
control.
tough. Yeah, bro, it's tough. It's like a
But like,
bouldering
that's
ball
what I'm saying. But
inside of
like,
you.
dang, bro, man, had to go to fentanyl. That's tough. It made it worse. It made his condition worse.
That's a really big question.
It made his condition worse, bro.
It makes him feel like he need it now because that
Hard,
ADHD just
so-
boosts it 10 times more.
What's your biggest
Yeah,
regret?
but like, yeah, but it made it even worse than what it was before in the start.
You asked him what his biggest regret is.
Yeah.
That's a really big question. I'd say smoking weed after I got out of jail.
Do you feel like weed's a gateway?
For me, I don't think it's the gateway for everyone, but I think when I do any drugs, it just goes all out. Like, so yeah, I feel like that's, if I really feel like if I chose not to start smoking weed, I would be completely cool right now. I think I would have been able to deal with everything in a different way. I think I would have learned how to. I would have worked out at home like I did, and I wouldn't be in the mess.
I feel like
Yeah, that's how it started.
I feel like he could have found an alternative, and he sold. I'm
Alright,
sorry,
another
he
dimension,
sold.
bro.
He sold, bro. He sold. He even knew. He even wanted
No,
to
he
choose the
didn't.
other one. He wanted to not do it, and he said
He
his
didn't
friends
sold, bro.
persuaded him.
He didn't sold, bro. He folded.
He folded big time, bro.
He folded himself, but you can't really blame him because it's that ADHD, bro. That ADHD was smoking his pack.
No, bro, he literally just said that he would have been fine or find a way to work if he didn't do it. And he felt like he didn't want to do it. He even said earlier he didn't want to do it, but his friends persuaded him.
Oh, they hold.
So that means he still sold. This dude still sold, bruh. Jake still sold. I'm sorry, Jake. You still sold for that. Nah, you're not getting slick with that one, Chief. I had to get you with that one. That part, no, sir. No, sir. Yeah, no, sir. You sold with that one. Accountability. That's you sold, but no,
I
sir.
guarantee
You're not.
you,
No.
bro.
Peer
You
pressure genjutsu, bro.
Exactly. Like, dude, you telling me you got peer pressured from your friends to do something you knew that can potentially clap you, and he said he even had a feeling. He's like, I couldn't do it, man. It would mess me up. He even said it, man. It would mess me up. I can't do it. And he said his friends gave in to his friends. What? No, no. You sold, Jake. You
I
sold,
guarantee
Jake.
you, he's not friends with them niggas anymore.
Exactly. And he's not. You sold, Jake. You sold. No, you sold, Jake. You sold.
I am now,
man.
like,
Once you get put in that rabbit hole, it's GG's, bro.
it's just
Nah, he
it's
sold,
crazy
bro.
how much
He
money
sold
I've
with that
spent
one,
on
Chief.
this
Bro, you gotta
drug.
watch
Like,
Euphoria,
it's the most
bro.
money I've
That
ever
shit
spent in
is
my life,
wild.
and it just goes to waste just so I can feel normal. Like, I don't get high anymore. I just feel normal. That's what sucks. Like, I don't get any relief. I get relief from feeling super shitty, but I don't feel good ever. So
Jake, what would you say is the most important lesson you've learned in your
Look, he's
21
emotionless,
years?
bro.
He's not emotionless. You see this dude sound like he's about to cry. He even say he has anxiety attack. That's not emotionless. Emotionless people don't have that.
He don't feel nothing no
Motionless.
more.
Emotionally-
Type like
Yeah, emotionless don't
Like
have anxiety
psychopath.
attacks, bro. I'm telling you, they'll have no anxiety attacks. They
motionless
looking at
is
you
like
with a straight
Lefty
face.
Llama, bro.
Exactly.
emotionless.
That's motionless.
He said
They would
Lefty
look at
Llama,
you with a
bro.
straight face, bro. You
Lefty Llama
point a
has
gun
fun
at
doing
him,
that,
they just
though.
look at you with a straight face. What are you talking about? He's not motionless person. This dude is he has a lot of emotions, bro.
He's just screwed up in the head. That's it.
Yeah, he is, bro. Big time, bro.
when you have a good thing, don't resort back to your old ways and make a mistake, because you're on this new path and you could do so much. And if you know that something will bring you back to your old ways, you need to stay away from it.
All right, Jake, thank you so much for sharing your story. I wish
Thank you.
He got probably paid 20 million after that interview. Yeah, he def got big bang. Come on now. You're not fooling none of us. You're not fooling none of us.